Hey guys, what's up? There is a movie on Netflix right now called The Green Lantern, and the Green Lantern is a character back in the old comic books. I don't even know how old, 50s or 60s or whatever it is. He's really an old school superhero, and he's been around in comics for years, since the 20th century and everything. And just recently, the movie's several years old, but it just came out on Netflix. Didn't get a chance to see it earlier, and so I really thought that this movie was good. I really liked it. I enjoyed this movie. I thought it was good. It's a little bit on the short side. The story's a little bit on the short side. It's not like a big cinematic masterpiece or an amazing story. It's a pretty classic story, but what I like about it is it introduces you to the world of the Green Lantern and what that's all about. Because the Green Lantern, even though it's been in comics for years, I never really read those comics, and I've always heard of this character, and it's been a big mystery for me because I didn't really know what he does and where his power comes from, and what the lantern meant and the ring and what he does and why he's the Green Lantern. And what even the point is, what is the message of the movie? What is the metaphor of the movie, right? What is the movie about besides the superhero? Because just a superhero is not enough to make a great movie. Superman was about, basically having the power to do the right thing and using good to combat and win over evil. So that's what this is, basically. The Green Lantern basically is this core of universe, like, galactic protectors. Now, I don't know how far the Galactic Alliance goes with the Green Lantern, but the Green Lantern is just one superhero, but it's a superhero that represents the human race, and it's a superhero that fights for Earth. It represents Earth and planet Earth and people. And all the other races in the galaxy, in the universe, I don't even know how big this is. I think it's just galactic, but it doesn't really explain it, because it's just like, it's a movie and they're not going to explain every little thing. And so these galactic protectors are there, and they've used this power of the Green Lantern. They're all green, they all wear this ring, and it gives them power, and they all have this kind of suit which kind of like manifests on them. The suit kind of like appears and kind of disappears. The mask appears and disappears. The mask only appears when he's got to hide his identity and stuff. So that's kind of what it is. The Green Lanterns are this core of galactic representatives of different planets, different societies, different cultures, and different creatures, different sentient beings. And out of them, like, Earth and humans are the most recent one. They're the youngest one. They're not maybe as evolved as some of the other galactic beings who have been, their race has been around for millions of years, and they're just advanced in thinking, advanced in technology. They have spaceships and stuff like that. So that's really cool. And then the whole point of the story is that there's this evil thing, and it's basically killing all the lanterns, all the Green Lanterns, and is killing all of them. And one of them ends up going to Earth and gets shot down by this thing, basically. And he's dying, and what he does is he passes on his ring to a human person who's the main actor in the story. So he passes the ring to him, and this guy is a fighter pilot. He doesn't really expect too much of himself. He doesn't feel like he's a hero. He wants to be a hero, but he doesn't feel like he is a hero. And this gives him the opportunity to be a hero. And at first he's like, he can't do it. He always like walks away from this kind of stuff. He never feels like he's the right person for it. He feels like this is too big of a thing for him to do. He doesn't want the responsibility of trying to protect Earth. He doesn't want it. He doesn't want to protect the galaxy from some kind of threat. Like, he's afraid of it. And so he basically, he just like kind of like, doesn't, he basically resigns from being a Green Lantern. Now, he's still a Green Lantern, but he just doesn't work as the Green Lanterns in the Green Lantern Corps, protecting this, the universe from this being. Until this being comes down and tries to attack Earth, and then he's got no other choice but to defend Earth, defend humankind from this evil freaking monstrosity. It's a monster, basically. It's a huge monster. It's a galactic monster. He basically inhales people's soul or something. He just like destroys them. Like he destroys everyone. And it's sort of like about that. Then there's also a villain in it, which was someone that the hero knows. But what's interesting about the villain is he gets kind of like infected by this evil entity, this evil thing, and it makes him evil and it makes him powerful. And it basically it gives him like he's able to read minds, and he's also able to you know, do these like superpower things, like lift things and like move things around, to do you know, telekinesis, yeah, like move things around with his mind and his will and everything like that. So he's also got that kind of power. And the Green Lanterns also have that kind of power. What they do is their power comes from focusing their will on something and creating a power from it. It's sort of like the Matrix, where they're in the Matrix, and like if you just focus on what you want to happen in the Matrix, it actually happens, you know? So if they want to, like in the Matrix, like if they want to like dodge a bunch of bullets that are being shot at them, they can do that. If they want to learn you know, Kung Fu and be able to do that, they can just download the Kung Fu tutorial and they'll know how to be expert black belt Kung Fu people, you know? And so that's kind of like what this is. It's very, very reminiscent of the Matrix, where everything is done with their minds. Everything is like, sort of like they focus on their intention and they try to like create it. And it's the same thing with the Green Lanterns. But the thing is, everything, all the powers that the Green Lanterns has is green. So if he manifests like, you know, like a freaking machine gun to try to take down an enemy with his will, it'll be a green machine gun. Or if he like wants to create a spaceship to fly in, it'll be a green spaceship. So everything is green in this movie. But honestly, this is a DC character. So out of all of the Marvel characters, I love the Marvel movies. I think the Marvel movies are done really, really well. I like the characters that they're putting out there and everything. I wasn't getting too much into the DC characters, like Legends of Tomorrow or something like that. That show. There's a bunch of those DC shows with also superheroes. Then I just can't get into the DC ones. Like, I don't know if Supergirl was DC, but I just couldn't get into the DC ones. And this is a DC movie based on a DC character that I actually can get into. I enjoyed it. I think it was fun. It wasn't the biggest movie ever, but it had a love story. It had a meaning in the movie. It was about courage and doing, you know, and facing your fear and doing what's right. It was about, I guess, you know, like people's responsibility and what they feel like their responsibility is. And it was about, I think, doing the right thing because it's the right thing, because it means a lot to you. You know, it's like you want to do the thing that you're inspired to do that means a lot to you, whether or not you have any fear about it or not. You know, because the evil monster, what it did was it was eating people because it caused their fear and would eat them because of their fear, you know. It would make them susceptible to the monster because it would incite fear in people, and when it did, it would eat them, you know. So there was that, and that was why that was why it was so important to basically fight this monster, even though the thing was terrifying and the thing was gigantic and the thing was scary. The only way to fight the monster is to basically have the courage to face that fear that the monster is giving them. So it's got that kind of meaning to it, it's got that metaphor to it, but it is also a love story. It's also an interesting story. The characters are good, the acting was good, the actors and actresses were good, the plot lines was interesting. A lot of the things about this movie made it a great movie. Is it an amazing, amazing best movie of all time? Not really, but I still think it was a fun superhero movie, especially because Green Lantern was not the thing I was into, and I really like the character now. I understand the universe and what that's all about. So thanks for watching the video. I hope you liked the content. Please like and subscribe, and hit the bell if you want to be notified about future videos. And I will see you guys in another video later.